in a different way, or you can design your attack strategy that makes it way more potent against me. So there's some concerning things here which we will have to deal with from the outset. And then I know I've been talking for too long, so now I'm going to return to the cart before the horse question. It's this. We have to think about how we protect ourselves in a number of ways. There's been a lot of talk in shift left amongst the community, and the WEF has been doing brilliant work in helping us understand. By shift left, we mean push the issue of security earlier on in the development cycle. Shift left for you, which means security by design in every way. But then what we have to do is not just stick with shift left, we have to expand right and do way more in terms of operational security around the stuff when it's in place, in practice. Otherwise, someone's going to hack your system and cause you a big problem. And then you have to kind of constantly repeat, because these things are changing so fast. And the organization is changing fast in terms of what it wants to do. The threat environment's changing really fast. And then the AI technology business is going to bring about massive change. And you know what? We're going to be collecting all sorts of new data we never thought we were going to. And our staff are changing fast. So probably there is something right now in that process, how we're going about doing security by design, embedding as much prevention of vulnerability as we can. Maybe there's something that could be done there. That would not be cart before horse in my mind. But this whole question about how you use things like regulation really needs embracing in the context of this fast, dynamic cadence that we're going to need. It's going to need more than that, right? We're going to have to build norms of behaviors. We're going to have to think about how we get business leaders totally engaged to build cultures in organizations that are inherently secure and resilient inside their DNA and the way people are thinking, because we won't be able to keep pace if we are solely focused on things like law and regulation and things like that.
Okay. We have last 3 minutes, and before I ask the final question to Minister Lokesh, anybody else wants to weigh in on the threats, because we've spoken enough about this, but otherwise, Mr. Lokesh, my last question is to you. India has this AI mission, government of India, right? Compute capacity for the country. Some thoughts on that, and of course, how is the state collaborating with the center in order to help or do all of these things?
I mean, India's AI mission is the first step in the right direction, but I think we need to do a lot more.
Of course.
No second thoughts about it. I mean, that's why we have the panel here, because I wanted to hear from the experts on how should a state in India transform its entire approach to education, apart from creating a temple of excellence of higher learning in AI university. Apart from that, how do we transform education fundamentally? And how do I create next generation job creators and job seekers for jobs that we don't know? And that for me is fundamentally scary. And that's the thing that we are sort of grappling with as a state. And I think that's what also makes it very exciting for us. India has been the biggest beneficiary of the Y2K. Way back in 2000, and then of course we moved on to various other services, and now I think AI presents a unique opportunity for India again to leapfrog. But we also believe that AI should be a way of life. A housewife should be able to understand, use it. As I said in my opening remarks, a carpenter, a student for better understanding of concepts. Politicians should ethically use it. We've seen deep fakes coming in with generative AI. We've seen it especially in the last elections. So I think there's a lot of uncertainty ahead of us, but I think it's very interesting times, and I think, as you've said, how do we create a framework for all of us to sort of operate it, and it doesn't create any ethical and moral dilemma and physical harm at the end of it.
Powerful thoughts here from a lot of answers that have come in for what a state can do, collaborating with other stakeholders to create the next generation AI winners. Professor Lee, I use that term very carefully now. But to all of you, thank you so much for joining in today and giving us your thoughts. Really appreciate your time. Shilpa, thanks so much for joining virtually as well. Great having you.
Right. Thank you very much.
Yep, and everybody, thanks for joining. A round of applause for the panel, please.